What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Back Pocket Creative. Appreciate you listening, appreciate you following, appreciate you sharing, whatever you do. It's awesome. And so today, I'll jump into a topic. And so it's something that I've been kind of actually dealing with a lot lately. And that is kind of when I go into a place, right? And I have all this knowledge, have all this experience and stuff at another place, right? And so for me, I have a lot of experience and kind of just relationship and even working stuff at multiple places and a lot over 3 to 4 years at each place. And so one thing, that you begin to do is, especially when you grow up in a place and stuff like that with your career and your craft, a lot of the things that are done in that place you take on, especially as a creative processes, things like that, and good and bad, right? So if you have a bad habit, you may have picked that up from your leader at a place, and it's not a bad thing. It's everybody has bad habits. I have terrible habits. It's part of life. It's part of being someone. It's part of being human. And so what I've realized though is when I go to do something in a new place, right? A lot of times the way I've handled things, and now I've gone through a lot of transitions, gone through a lot of positions, gone through a lot of different environments. And the one thing I've done, and I did this early on, but I've done it even more so now. When I get somewhere, I like to embrace myself in the culture and everything that's going on. And even if I perceive things as broken, and what I mean from a creative, I mean from a creative point. So when I say broken, I mean from a creative point of view or from a production side or technical side, if it's broken, I let it stay that way for a little while. I learn why it's broken. I find the story behind, why a process or a system is broken. I find out why gear is being used. Hey, why are you guys using this versus this? Was it a budget issue? Was it a system issue? Was it an integration issue? Was it a preference of the previous person? There's a lot of questions that I have to ask, but they're also asked over time. They're also asked through relationship. And so what I mean by that is, I'm there for a year and things are not, changed over and switched over because I'm learning the system. I'm learning people, and through relationship, I'm getting answers to my questions. And so one thing that I've had to really lean into lately too is, when I go and I suggest something, I am going to suggest something out of a place of experience, right? And so I'm going to draw on somewhere that I was where I had to make a similar decision. And this is the decision that I made because that's what was best, right? Okay, we're going to get this gear, we're going to do this ecosystem because that's the best ecosystem or whatever. And it was tailor-made for that environment. And so, I've now built multiple, you can call it ecosystems, right? So with production, so especially with video capture, live stream, all that jazz. I've done, full bring in, install, brand new. And I've also done, basically kind of surgery on gear and on systems and processes. And so here recently, I working on a project, doing an upgrade where we're bringing everything to 4K, and there's a system in place, but we're doing new cameras, new gear, new the whole new, and everything is brand new. And so one thing I've had to do is I have a lot of preferences when it comes to video, when it comes to film, when it comes to stuff, and so I've had to override my preferences and also see, okay, where are the things that I do like that I can integrate here, but at the same time, I know how this place is capturing things. I know how this place's workflow works. And so I need to do things and suggest things that are appropriate for the workflow. So where I'm kind of bringing this and going to kind of land this idea and this thought is when you're creative and you're creating with other people and you're creating, and even in a new environment, there's things that you're going to want to do that make sense for your craft, that make sense for what you've done. But take into account what is around you, what the people have done before you, and also kind of just, have a little bit of an understanding of, hey, things may be different here. And that means different gear might need to be applied, different thought processes, different just environmental changes. And so, because we bring things as a creative to a room that, the reason we're in that room is because we're creative and because someone knows that we're good at what we do. The other side is a lot of times the people that we're helping have to live with whatever we do. And so whether that's a single project and you come in and you do it and that's now they're living with it, or like what I'm doing where it's a full install where everything I'm doing is going to be here for 5 to 10 years, what can I do that can automate things? What can I do that maybe isn't the best piece of gear in my opinion, but something that would work for that environment that makes that entire situation flow better? So I've had to really kind of dive deep, do more research, learned a lot, and also kind of revisit things that, I used to do and didn't do because of the environment I was in. And now go, oh, that makes more sense here than it did there. Let me see if I can integrate it, if I can make it make sense, make it work. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. And that's kind of just a little tip I want to kind of throw out there and like start the thought process for you. Because, when we go and we do things with new environments, we will always tend to come and bring our systems and our processes and our stuff and our baggage into it. And that's one thing that I've tried my best to really just observe and do things. And, even the place I'm at now, like I didn't make a lot of recommendations till I was at least 6 months in, because I didn't really want to be the guy that goes in and goes, oh, this is this. I just wanted to be like, okay, everything's working. Things are working. It looks good. I don't need to be the reason it all changes. So that's it for the episode this week, and I will see you next week.